Well, good morning to you, folks. Welcome to our Clock in the Gallop podcast for today. Our broadcast coming to you from Johannesburg. There's racing locally today. It is Thursday, the 3rd of November, and we've got Lyall Cooper on the show today, and he joins us. Thankfully, today, Lyall, we won't have any change of surface midstream. We will start at the classic track and hopefully finish there, depending on the weather, of course, because there's a lot of rain in there, isn't there?
There's a lot of rain. But I just had a look at there, and they only had 1 mil of rain in the last 24 hours. So if it doesn't rain, it should be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, they've had 44.5 millimeters of rain out of the Vaal in the last week, which is lovely. But the problem isn't necessarily about the rain. It's about whether there's lightning and electrical storms and that, which delays proceedings. So we'll wait and see. But it is very overcast in Joburg, and I predict that it'll be very overcast where you go.
And just generally for the punters out there, the Vaal just takes rain very well. Yeah, even though the stand-side track, it wasn't obviously great yet, but they take rain so well, those two tracks.
Well, in the old days, we'd use the term yielding for the going today, but it has been posted up good to soft. Now, this was at 7:45 this morning, and we're recording this just a little bit later, but it is good to soft at the moment. Penetrometer is 24, and the false rail is 5 meters out on the back straight and on the bend, with a 5-meter spur at the 800-meter marker. Raymond Danielson not riding today. So that's an update. Raymond Danielson's not riding, so I'll go through the changes with you later. And just the one scratching on the card in race 7, scratch number 10, Meet the Captain. So those are the changes. Now, Lyall has done the bulk of the work for today's show. You've got a hard act to follow because we're in a bit of form, Lyall. We have to mention the victory on Saturday of our Clocking the Gallop team, which is well publicized. We tipped Bingwa. We liked the second horse, Puerto Manzano. So we won the Tipsters Challenge, of which we'll get to give 10,000 Rand to our nominated charity, which is the Heart Horse Protection Association in Cape Town. But not only that, the Ghost Rider tipped the place accumulator for the folks out there yesterday and made a nice, healthy profit. So it's going along pretty nicely for our followers. Today's the day.
You've got to do it. Today's the day. I actually thought this was an easy card until the rain arrived. So it's because of the rain, it could be a little trappy, but still way better than Tuesday, Nico.
Yeah, it is way better than Tuesday. Okay, well, let's go to the betting for the first race, and let's take you to that now. By the way, in race 1, number 9, Chicks for Free is now ridden by Muzi Yeni. That's the jockey change. Muzi hops for that. And No Blinkers for number 2, Sky Runner. Well, when I looked at the card last night, this looked like a penalty kick, actually. Run for cover, opened up even money. That might have been considered a nice little price. It's now in the region of 6.5 to 10. But you've got to think that this is the horse to beat.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Nico. This is the horse to beat. Run for cover. Ryan Munger, Ashley Fortune, they've been going along nicely. Drawn well. Draw punters is very important on the classic track. 2 good runs. There are 4 winners from the first form line. Ignatius last time did everything but win, and that was after a rest. The fact that he's going back down in trip doesn't worry me. He had a very pleasing debut. The mare was very useful. We know that at Daughter's Legacy. In fact, she won 8 times. I do think the further run for cover goes, the better. So probably on the sharp side now. But the horse to beat. Now, the 2 horses that I thought could give a danger were number 11, Reigning Rubies, who was backed at long odds on debut, and in a big field ran 4th behind Queen of Smoke. There have been 3 winners. Smunga rides in a tongue tie and up in trip. So I do respect number 11. And then a horse like Sky Velocity, who ran 4th behind Kalahari Blue, but drawn 3 as well, which is nice. I thought those 2 were the biggest dangers. And then one more I do want to mention is the 8. I'm just going to watch this one. I'm leaning in to see the price, 14 to 1. So no money. That answers a few questions, but beautifully bred, of course. So now that the 8 is drifted, Nico, I think 7 from 11 and 10.
Okay, 7 from 11 and 10. I think the 8 is quite well related, but my problem is the draw on debut. If you've got a draw of 10 around the 1450, you're up against it, and that really will throw it out. But that said, Willem Ackerman has bought some lovely stock for both Tyrone Zaki and Stuart Pettigrew, and for Cliffy Miller down in the Eastern Cape. So we'll watch that. I think by and large, we agree that the favourite hard to beat there, Run for Cover.
And I want to mention I just want to mention number 6, Ungo Kushesha, which means in a hurry.
In a hurry. Okay. Well, we'll be in a hurry to maybe exclude it from a 12 draw.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And go for the stable companion. Okay, let's go to race 2, which is the start of the place accumulator. It's a graduation plate and it's over 1,000 meters. Looking at any changes here, I see that it is all clear at this stage, so nothing to report. Let's go to the betting. Well, it's Karangatang number 3 is at 9-4, 22-10 effectively. There's been money for yours Constable into 3-1, which you tipped quite prolifically on the weekend, and it only ran second to Sheila. I say only ran second, meaning that was no mean feat.
You and I actually made Sheila our first choice, by the way, both of you.
Yeah, we did both like Sheila, but you like Constable at a big price. That's
I did.
Second favorite. Then you've got Dice at 4-1, Set to Go number 4, and 6 Mover and Shaker both at 9-2. Whilst it's a small field, it appears a little bit tricky at the outset. What are you going to do?
Sure. This is such a good little field. Exactly what you said. Okay, wrapped it up nicely. I mean, if Dice arrived here, he's been off for 460 days. If Dice arrived here with his form, he'll beat them. He is seriously talented. Constable running that 0.7 of length behind Sheila. Unbelievable run. In fact, I was discounting Constable until he ran that run. Karangatang, the form speaks for itself. And then Set to Go, 1 3/4 lengths behind Anfield's Rocket. I mean, you know, that says a lot. Candace Dawson said, nice work at home. This is the starting point. So I'm prepared to look past Set to Go at my own peril for today, because it's the ex-Paul Peter horse. And I'm going to go, sure. I don't even know how to structure this. 1-3-2, 3-2-1, because of the rest. One of the, I don't know, Nico.
Okay, well, I'm going to just throw some numbers in the air here. Okay, I'm going to throw some numbers at you. Let's look at Dice. Okay, now we don't have any comments from the stable, so we're completely working in the dark. I haven't contacted Lucky Udalakis. You haven't contacted Lucky Udalakis. The comment is no comment given, is the comment.
Yeah.
So we are completely in the dark. We are not speaking with any authority whatsoever. But let's just look at it. Dice ran second to Master Archie.
Level weights.
2.5 lengths at level weights. Master Archie is rated 125 currently, right? Granted, this was way before he achieved 125 rating, right? Because it was in July 2021.
Yes.
But the point was that he was favorite to beat Master Archie. He was odds on, 5-6 to beat Master Archie. So the point was he was backed in to beat Master Archie over 1,000 meters on this track.
And William Robertson, just to add one in there.
Yeah, but that race, he was backed to beat Master Archie. He is 4-1 today against Constable and Karangatang. Now, you work it out.
Yeah. You're going to come up with 117 or something.
Well, no, I'm just saying, you know, the point was Master Archie at that stage wasn't 125. It's achieved that rating subsequent to July 2021. What I am saying is that if you took that literally and said it was 125, then it comes out at 120.
That's what struck me, Nico.
And it's rating of 101, but it's at level weights with Constable, who's rated at 90. And because Karangatang is 107, Karangatang's net rating, by the way, is 97, because you've got to take the weight for age off. So it's basically 120 versus 97. I mean, if this horse is fit and well, the 4-1 is a steal. The question mark is fit and well.
Yeah, that's how I started, because I said to you, if this horse arrives in form, he'll beat them comfortably.
I think the key to the race.
What I will do, I'll go and find Lucky. I'll go and find Lucky, and I will ask him. It is a very important question.
The key to it is that horse Dice, because again, you look at its run up the straight. Because remember, the last 2 runs, well, the second last run against Master Archie was over this course and distance. And you know, Master Archie posted a time of 56.26 seconds. Very, very quick time. So my point is, it's for me, Dice. I'm leaning towards Dice on its well-being. You know,
yes, correct, 100%.
But I'd probably go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I agree. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 1, 2, 3. But I need to speak to Lucky.
Yeah, you do need to check with Lucky and find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is our assessment of race 2. Let's go to the third, which is the start of the pick 6 at 20 past 1. A merit rated 68 handicap. It's over 1,600 meters. Remember, this is around the turn. Here, number 10, Tara Iti, is now ridden by Cabello Matsunyani, who puts up the 2 kilograms as carded. So Cabello rides Tara Iti. Well, let's have a look at it. San Quintin, the favorite, backed in from 2 to 1 into 17 to 10. So there's money around for number 2, San Quintin. Eye of the Prophet, number 3 is at 5 to 1. Number 5, Silly Fellas at 6 to 1. And then number 9, Lutuli's at 6 to 1. And then you've got player number 4 at 7s. And number 8, Parker Getrix. There's money for that from 16 to 1 to 12 to 1. Take us through your thoughts on this race. Pretty tough, I thought.
Well, I thought San Quintin's definitely got a big chance here, Nico. If you go to the brief form line there, Arlington, he had Arlington Action behind in 7th, who's come through in 1-3, of course. That second behind Secret Giver was okay last time, drawn nicely at 5. 16 should be fine. So I think he's a big runner. I do have respect, though, big respect for Eye of the Prophet, Paul Matchett and Rachel Venica. I mean, all you have to do is look at those horses that he's run against. Striker Match, Union Square, Shoemaker, Cousin Casey. So 57 kilograms, drawn 2, is trying the trip for the first time. In the slightly wet conditions, that is a bit of a worry for me. But I also like a bit of number 9, Lutuli, at value with 54 kilograms, Caden Brewer aboard. And then number 4, Player as well. Just not sure Player coming out of the main, but I did get Candice's comments, and she did say that's a nice work and expecting a good race back. So didn't sound overly confident. So 2, 3, 9, and 1 for me, Nico.
Yeah, you mentioned Eye of the Prophet. Now, we really liked Eye of the Prophet last time out, and we labeled it, actually. It was back from 4 to 1 to 12 to 10. We got the lot that day. Rachel's back on it. But you mentioned, I mean, Shoemaker, by rights, was the winner of that race on Saturday. You know, and I see Mike de Cox come out guns blazing about the luck and run. So when you looked at it, ran 2 lengths behind Shoemaker over 1,400 meters. That really speaks volumes. So I thought that at 5 to 1 was a better prospect for me than San Quintin at 17 to 10. I can't believe San Quintin is that short. I mean, I'm not saying it can't win.
It's a bit short.
Oh, it is short, eh? I thought 2 to 1 was short. So I'm going to say 17. The value for me is Lutuli. Now, you mentioned Lutuli.
Yeah, me too.
That for me is the value. And the reason I say that is because the weight, the fact that Caden Brewer his tail is up. He had 2 feature race winners on the weekend. So he's riding with a hell of a lot of confidence. And I see a bit of upside to him. The Fabian Habib stable won a race last week. So they are, you know, they've picked up a little bit too. So I looked at this as the value. And then just quickly about number 1, Satoshi. The stable is quiet at the moment, Sean Terry. But the rating of Satoshi on its last run. So it ran, giving East Coast 2 kilograms. It ran 7.25 lengths behind East Coast. When you look at the numbers there, it runs to a 77 and it's racing off a 68.
Yeah, so we got to put it in.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, wider perms must include it at 12 to 1, but I don't know about the stable's form. They're a bit cold at the moment, eh? So I don't, I think they've got to warm up a little bit. For me, I'm taking the 3 and the 9 as my top 2. So I'm leaning towards those. Yeah.
Same numbers, different orders. I think they're both good value. I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. Okay, let's kick on to race 4. On to the 4th race now, and that is a merit-rated 86 handicap. It's over a 1,600 meter trip. In the 4th race, number 6, Forward Spell, has a Cornell collar fitted. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one, because I found this pretty interesting. The course specialist, number 2, Duke of Sussex, open 9 to 2 and is into 33 to 10. Now, we know this horse loves the classic track. It runs its best races here. So that is the favorite.
And runs quite well in wet as well. So that's
and runs well in wet, Climate Control, number 5, and number 8, Kentalin, they are 5 to 1. 1 Bayesier is 11-2, 3 Wilswell 6-1, and 4 Captain of Grit is at 7-1. I found this open. I'm interested to hear your comments. Let's start off with Duke of Sussex. Must have a chance.
Yeah, that's my first selection, and I agree. Very, very open race. Lucky Lark, Samaga Kamalo. Merit rating is at the highest, but like you've said, 2 from 2 course and distance, 4 from 5 at the track with 1 second, so loves it here. Has 1 in the wet. The last 4 runs all speak for themselves, and was, again, slightly stronger last time. Drawn 1. I mean, there's probably not one negative for this horse other than 60 kilograms and a tough field. My second selection is Captain of Grit. I thought that was real value when I saw this at 10-1. On that last run, is 1.5 kilograms better off with Bayesier. Muzi takes the ride here. Canis says, nice horse, working well. Obviously, he had some issues, but seems to be ready now. So I think that's a big runner for me today, Nico. Bayesier, obviously running like a superstar at the moment. And then over the page, Kentallen Bay. You know, I remember this Kentallen Bay when it went off at that 33-1. And we did our show, and Corne said, I'm not going to be surprised if this horse won. Yeah. And I went on air on course, and I think Corne said he's not going to be surprised if this horse won, and it still won at 33-1. So it's obviously quite a decent individual. So I wouldn't let that go free either. So for me personally, 2, 4, 1, 8, and of course, horse like Climate Control. Can't leave that out at all.
Now, I found this a very interesting race. I want to kick off with Climate Control first. A son of Ideal World, because he ran in that same race that Satoshi ran in earlier.
Yes.
Now, we'll get a good line how Satoshi runs to how Climate Control runs.
Yes.
Although, that said, this race is a lot stronger than the Satoshi race. That's why I mentioned Satoshi, because that run ran 7 lengths behind East Coast. When you go to Climate Control was 3.5 lengths behind East Coast. So Climate Control ran to a rating of 99 here. And it has got an official rating of 90. So if it runs to what it ran to last time out, it is well in by 4.5 kilos, as much as that, Lyall, for Climate Control.
Yeah.
So that
You're
is
making
on
a very
my
good
short
point.
list. Having said that, I really like what you said about number 4, Captain of Grit. This is going to go down as my first selection in the race at 7-1. I like Candice Dawson's form. I like the booking of Muzieni. If you look right at the top of the computer form line, it ran level weights with, in fact, no, it was getting a kilo from Red Saxon. And it ran 3 lengths behind Red Saxon, who showed what he's worth when he came out and ran 4th in the Charity Mile on the weekend. That's my horse today, Captain of Grit. I like him. I like the owner a lot, Mr. Kokoris, and I'm hoping for that. But you haven't mentioned one of the horses that we quite liked last time out, and it won last time out, Wolf's World.
Yes.
Now,
it
won so well last time out, didn't it? It blitzed clear.
Yes.
We were on it when Stratham rode it.
We were on it.
I think this has also got a chance. I don't believe that it's home and host for Duke of Sussex. I don't think people should go up and say this is a certainty because it's got all the classic form and it's got the wet form. I've done a little bit of it. I put it in the race with a chance, but the horses that I've mentioned, all of 3, 4, and 5 come into it, and I'm actually tipping Captain of Grit to win.
You know what, Nico? I was tempted to do that anyway. I'm going to follow you because I think this is a massive runner.
Yeah.
I personally think Wolf's World is held. I really do. By number 2, Duke of Sussex. So it's not in my top 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's held.
I took a different approach. I would be taking 6-1 Wolf's World instead of the 33-10 Duke of Sussex.
Okay.
But
Fair
the
enough.
fact that Lorena's on it interests me greatly. And he's had 2 rides and has had really good success. Anyway, we are in agreement.
Let's just remember number 4 for our value bet later in the card.
Yeah.
Captain of Grit. We both agree.
Yeah, we do agree there. Okay, race 5. Let's go on to that. It is a fillies and mares 86 handicap. This is over the 2,000-meter trip. And in race 5, there are no changes. It is as carded. Now, this is the start of the second jackpot. And you and I have done a second jackpot today in our Take a Bet insert, which will be coming out later on Thursday morning. And we don't like this race at all. I saw it pretty much like you saw it, but let's just examine the betting. And then I'll come to my first selection, although we've gone field and we think it's a field race. Now, the betting shows Tabby Cat number 6 at 28-10. Code 0 has been back from 5-1 into 7-2. That's number 4. Then we've got number 2, Sister Light at 11-2. And then we've got number 8, Mirren at 11-2. Franklin number 5 at 7-1. And number 9, Linger No More is at 8-1. We make it a field race, but if you had to narrow it down and give me a few, who would you be focusing on?
Well, I'm a bit sad to see the price here because Code 0 was my first choice and was 13-2.
Yes.
And now she's been backed into 7-2. I mean, that's really depressing. I really thought we had such great value here. So that was my first choice from that draw, Code 0. Number 3, Princess Cash, still decent value. I don't mind her. I think she could have a big run here this afternoon. Ryan Munger taking the run or taking the ride from a draw 4. Number 2, Sister Light's got to have a chance. I don't mind number 9, Linger No More, with Marco van Rensburg, Cornet Spish. They've been going well of late with 52 kilograms. And then, like we said, Neil, Mirren, obviously Tabby Cat. But if I had to, personally, I'd go 4 and 3. Get some nice value there, but it's not so much value anymore.
Yeah, 4 and 3. I mentioned Code 0 as in my top 2. Although, as we said earlier on, I reckon it is wide open. Any horse could improve leaps and bounds.
Let me take a guess. Let me take a guess. Which is your horse? Would it be Mirren?
No, it's not Mirren.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for you.
Mirren. So my horse in the race, out the blue, that I'm coming with, is a horse called Franklin. Right.
Yes.
And only you know me probably more than anyone else, because you always compare our notes, and they're normally the same. Today I've studied a little bit differently, but I'm going to use our very faithful form grids to show you something here. What interests me about this particular horse is not so much the horse itself, and that may sound strange, but the fact that the trainer is in great form with limited opportunities. Look at Erico Verdini. Okay, I want to show you something here. So I've gone to form grids here. Can you see it on your screen or not? No.
Yes, I can. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to look at Mr. Erico Verdini's form. Bear in mind that the greens are winners as I scroll down.
Amazing.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot of horses. Just look at this.
No.
So
he's in great form.
Let me tell you, he has had 20 runners this season. Okay, 20 of his horses have run. How many do you think have won out of the 20?
Well, I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right?
7. 7 is
amazing.
Right. 35% strike rate.
Very high.
35% for a small yard is incredible.
Yeah, he can go.
Okay. And when he won that race the other day, he won on the big day, didn't he? No, he won not. He won on Saturday. He won on Tuesday.
He won on Tuesday. Yeah, in the first race.
With that outsider. Yeah. So he won on Tuesday with that horse number 1. What was Diesel Jet? Was it called? No.
DJ something.
DJ, DJ Junior or something.
Junior.
But it was DJ stands for Diesel Jet the sire. Anyway, what I wanted to tell you was Cabello.
That was the first Diesel Jet winner, Nico. That's the first Diesel Jet winner, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
So, Cabello Mazzignani, when he rides for Verdini's, has been victorious 6 out of 15, which is 40%.
Very good. All right.
So all I'm saying is I'm going on statistics here. I'm tipping Franklin to win it. But I agree with you. It's very open. Code 0 was actually my second choice. So if you had to take into account both Lyalls, in my opinion, we'd probably end up going for Code 0.
Code 0. Nico, while you've been talking there, I just had a look at Franklin's 5.5 kilograms better off with Dark Travel, 5 kilograms better off with Princess Cash, and Princess Cash was one of my selections. So I've elevated number 5. I see your point.
Okay, so I'm going for that one today. I'm using pure statistical purposes, and I'm going for that. Okay, we're going to move on to our next race, which it may be slightly better than this race because we made this a field race. But race 6 is not easy either. And I'm going to bring up the betting for our 6th race today, which, by the way, is a fillies and mares 66 divided handicap. Spells danger. It's over 2,000 meters. Here's the betting, Lyall, as we go to it. Well, here you can see it as a fillies and mare 66 because it's 4-1 the field. Last year, 4-1. Cape Bouquet, 4-1. 6-1 Stunning Kitten. 7-1 Crusade to Royalty. 8-1 Summerland Special Charm Pretty in Pearls. This is very open. This may be also a field race.
Yeah, this is not easy, Nico. So I'll start off. I like last year as my first selection. She runs well in the wet. Last one was off a 68. She's on a 66. So quite a few things in her favor. She will be my selection. I don't mind the price here at 4-1 at all, by the way. Second selection, I think you might like my second selection for reasons you've been giving us a lecture on. Number 10, Winning Queen. It's my second selection. 14-1. Can't believe it. JP van der Merwe, Erica Vernies, fourth behind Rarotonga Rose last time, has won in wet conditions, 54 kilograms. I think the 7-year-old's got a bit of a sneak. Cape Bouquet, of course, has got a chance, but is held, by the way, narrowly by both number 1 and number 10. I must mention that. Number 3, Cape Bouquet, who's at 4-1, and Winning Queen's at 14-1. If you go back to the Rarotonga Rose form line. And then, of course, Stunning Kitten and Crusade to Royalty. So, yeah, I don't think we need a field, Nico, but we certainly need a few.
I narrowed it down. I don't have a clear first choice, but I narrowed it down. I put down 4 numbers, and I'm willing to accept your Winning Queen on the basis that Erico is doing really well, and we've tipped him, or I've tipped him earlier. My 4 horses here were in no particular order: Crusade to Royalty, Cape Bouquet, Stunning Kitten, and Last Cheer.
Same.
And they're exactly the same as yours, plus, of course, the addition of Winning Queen. I want to go to one other, Pretty in Pearls.
Yes.
Yes. The reason why I say Pretty in Pearls is because I was last time out, I was surprised where it ran. It ran 4th behind Pascal Samore, but I called the race, and I thought that she showed a little bit more than she has been showing. So I wanted to put
not the worst run.
Because maybe she might come to light today. So I'm including the 8 as well in races.
Yes. There's likely to be an upset somewhere along the line. Let's not miss it.
Yeah. Okay, we move on to race 7. Now, this is the penultimate event of the day. Race 7 is a fillies and mares 71 handicap. We're back to a sprint. It is around the turn, though. Race 7 is over 1,200 meters. Scratch number 10, Meet the Captain. Number 9, What a Blizzard, is ridden by Cabello Matsignani, who puts up the 2 kilos overweight as carded. No pacifiers for number 8, Up the Irish, and number 9, What a Blizzard, Alamites in front, Unshod behind. Right, the favorite, Queen of Smoke, 15-10, relatively unexposed individual, carries quite a high weight, but is the favorite. And then you've got 9-2, Lollapalooza, and then barring those, it's 8-1 and better. Again, a few that you need over here. What did you fancy?
Yeah, I'm not loving this race, Nick. Of all the races on the card, this was not my favorite. It's not strong. I've ended up going with Queen of Smoke, which is not like me. A horse jumping out of a maiden with 59 kilograms. Oi, doi, oi. But Stewie Pettigrew, 65 days, Randall Simons, drawn 3, 12 winners from the debut run, 4 winners from the Jinquin run, and 3 winners from her own win last time. For me, if she's improved at all, she's the horse to beat. I have a bit of respect for number 11 at a nice price. Grisha, Nathan Klink, 52, Brett Weber. For me, that's the value in the race. Now, 10-1, definitely a chance. Number 2, Lollapalooza. I mean, the Fisher stable, the stable is such a lovely family, and they're so passionate. And I've spoken to them the last twice Lollapalooza ran, and they really expected her to win. So let's hope she comes through and runs a cracking race for them. And then Gin and Tonic as well, on best form, could be dangerous. But, geez, I'm very scared of this race, Nico. If I look past 3, I don't know what to say to you.
No, it's not an easy race at all. I do not like this race at all. It has, you know, Queen of Smoke may well come out and win. But as I said in the opening to this race, relatively unexposed.
Yes.
Beat Tried and True. And it was well back that day. And you have to say that on the run to time for Orchids, because that is a very good form line, a lot of horses have come out of that and won.
12.
Yeah, 12 of them. Well, there have been 12 individual winners. Well, 12 specific winners out of that form line.
Winners, yeah.
I think, she's obviously the horse to beat. I think she's the horse to beat. But Grisha is also my value down at the bottom.
Oh, good.
I think she's the value 10-1. I gave chances to a lot of them over here. You know, the way to play this in Neil Andrews' terms is banker cover the field. You either bank a Queen of Smoke or you go the field.
100%.
It's one or the other. And I think that's probably the way that
if you're a real lunatic, bank a Grisha and take a big chance.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd be doing that, but I'd certainly say that for me, the 10 to 1, 12 to 1, I'd be backing Grisha each way here, win in place. Ahead of the others, but I don't like this race at all, which is in complete contrast to the last race of the day, because here we both like a horse and we both think we're on the right horse. But let's go to that race 8, and I want to just bring you up to date with the changes before we go through it. Number 1, Sullenberger, now the mount of Randall Simons. Sullenberger has got blinkers on, Alamites in front, Unshot behind. You go to number 8, Bronco Blitz, that's got blinkers on. No blinkers for number 13, Musical Kiss. Now, we've taken an opinion here. It's a bit of a risky opinion, but we both like the same horse, and we both think we might just be on the right horse here. And it is?
Takenaut.
Yeah. It's number 2.
We both like it.
We both like
Drawn
it.
well. Yeah. Drawn well. Gavin up. Roy Magna, we're hoping that Roy gets the winners here. Needed that last run. Chai Varna, Flower Bomb has won from that form line, a Pico form line. When Takenaut won his maiden course and distance, 56.8. I mean, that's a very nice time to win your little maiden there with 60 kilograms. He then thrashed Integrate, Mover and Shaker. And Nico, you and I both agree. There's good horses here. Spielberg has run well. Existentialist could be anything. An Epic Dream, I must mention. Candice Dawson said working very nicely at the moment. So just be careful of number 2. But we've got to take a stand somewhere in the card, and we think Takenaut is the right one.
Yeah, we're going for this horse. Now, it means Chinese astronaut is the actual definition. It was a word it's actually pronounced Taikenaut, I think, Lyall. Taikenaut, yeah. So the only negative about it is the form of the Magna Yard. And you and I went into this. The form is a bit quiet for Mr. Magna. It is carrying quite a big weight at 60.5, but what sways it for me is the draw. I think the draw, when it rains on the Vaal Classic track, is a significant factor. Something that you have to really bear in mind. And the main challenge...
But we both agree on the Vaal Classic and Vaal Proper course, and the race 1 was an exact example of what you're talking about with the draws.
Yes.
If you remember race 1.
Yeah.
Outside, inside. Yeah. Big favorite inside, got beaten by the outside. Yeah.
So I'm going on the fact that its main dangers in the betting are drawn inside. So let's look at it. Epic Dream, you mentioned 16 to 1 to 10 to 1. Where's it drawn? 2. Spielberg, Chance, 1. 6, Existentialist, now with the Fabian Habib stable, 4. Power Broker, number 7, is the only one that I felt was a danger at 10 to 1, because this is back to a sprint. It beat I Am Giant. We rated I Am Giant. It beat I Am Giant, but it was receiving 3 kilograms. So that was the only one that was drawn on that side that I was a bit concerned about. But you and I both taking the 5 to 2, 3 to 1 about the Chinese astronaut Taikenaut in the last race of the day.
Let him go and walk on the moon for us.
Absolutely. He take the first steps on the moon. What is it? A small step for, what is it? Mankind.
One small step for man, one huge step for mankind.
Yeah, one small step. You said it. Thankfully, you had your thinking cap on. Lyall Cooper, thanks so much for coming to the party today. We race at Turffontein on Saturday. I might well be speaking to you again then, but we're going to leave it there for today. And hopefully you have a good day out there and it doesn't rain or the lightning doesn't hamper proceedings out there.
I hope not. Thank you so much, Nico.
Thanks a lot, Lyall, and thanks to you, the Clock and the Gallop viewer, for listening and watching. Give us a thumbs up that you like the video. That's one of the things. Make a comment and tell us what you're feeling about our daily broadcasts, and hopefully we'll remain top of the pops with you. Thanks, Lyall. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.